Have you ever seen someone so confident, so fearless, that they could make everyone stare just by walking into a room? That was Natalie Wood, a woman whose beauty, talent, and charm made her unforgettable. But there is one story about her that will make you stop and think. A story where she showed the world all of herself, and it is something you will remember long after this video ends. Natalie was more than just a Hollywood star. She started acting when she was a child and quickly became famous. Everyone loved her smile, her voice, and her way of making any role feel real. But there was more to her than the movies. Natalie was bold, confident, and sometimes a little daring. You see, Natalie did not just act, she expressed herself. And there is one moment that really stands out, a moment where she decided to be completely herself, with no hiding and no pretending. It was a moment that surprised everyone. People could not stop talking about it. Natalie was at a private event. Cameras were there, but it was not a movie set. She decided to wear something bold, something that people were not used to seeing. People stared not because it was shocking, but because it was honest. She was showing herself, completely confident and unapologetic. The headlines after that night were everywhere. Some people were amazed. Others were surprised. But one thing was clear, Natalie had the power to captivate an audience, even off-screen. And it was not just about her looks, it was the way she carried herself, the way she owned every moment. Imagine being in a room full of people, all eyes on you, and feeling calm. That is what Natalie did. She was not afraid of judgment. She was not afraid to show the real her. That is something very few people can do, even today. She taught everyone that confidence is not about being perfect, it is about being yourself. But Natalie's life was not just about bold moments. Behind the camera, she faced challenges like anyone else. Being famous was not easy. She had to handle pressure, rumors, and expectations. Yet, somehow, she always remained graceful. Even in tough times, Natalie knew how to shine. Some say that this one night, when she showed it all, was not just about fashion or beauty. It was about freedom. Freedom to be who you are without worrying about what others think. That is the real reason people remember Natalie Wood, not just for her movies, but for her courage. And here is something interesting, Natalie was not trying to make a statement. She was not trying to become famous for this moment. She simply followed her instincts, trusted herself, and acted the way she felt. And that is why it became a story that people still talk about. Think about this for a second. How often do we hide a part of ourselves because we are afraid of what others might think? Natalie's story reminds us that showing who you really are can leave a mark that lasts forever. It does not matter if people are surprised or shocked, it matters that you are true to yourself. Natalie was more than just her looks. She was talented, smart, and daring. Every role she played had a piece of her in it. And every time she stepped into the spotlight, she reminded people that being real is powerful. It is amazing to think how one moment can define a story, one moment where Natalie decided to show the world all of herself. And that moment still inspires people. It reminds us that courage comes in many forms. Sometimes it is standing in front of a crowd, other times it is being honest with yourself. Natalie's story teaches us something simple, yet powerful. Confidence is contagious. When you are brave enough to be yourself, others notice. They might talk about it. They might remember it forever. But most importantly, you will feel free. So, the next time you feel nervous about showing who you are, think about Natalie. Think about that one moment when she showed it all and did not apologize for it. Think about the impact it had, not just on the world, but on herself. And remember, being true to yourself can be one of the most unforgettable things you ever do. Natalie Wood was not just a star on the screen. She was a star in real life, showing courage, confidence, and honesty in a way that still inspires us today. And maybe that is the most important lesson of all. Sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is just be yourself.